All right, here is your update on the Farmall Cub. It is September 2nd, and this is where we are so far. We've come a long way. We still have a little further to go. We have to put the hood on. We have to put the dashboard in, as well as there's something else that I'm forgetting about. The seat. So we have the seat, the dash, or the control cluster. I don't know what the hell you call it. Pretty impressed with the paint job. I didn't want to get it perfect because it is not a new box. So I did not go in on extremes on the rust. I wanted to make it so that you would know that it wasn't a bought box. And as you can see right here, she's already starting to get dusty sitting here in the garage. So she is getting dusty. We do have the battery cable run up to the front. We don't have it in place yet. That's the battery cable, as well as the other cable that goes to the controls. And everything else is starting to get a little dust on it. But so far, pretty happy with what we got. Pop Gringo went home this morning, and this thing will probably get a little bit of a break because this weekend we're going to go camping, and I don't think it's going to get any work done to it this weekend. I'm going to start working on the light that goes on this bracket here, and not sure that I think I'm waiting on some parts, some wire loom. And once I get my wire loom, then I will get started on this dashboard, or the instrument cluster, whatever you want to call it. So as soon as I get my wire loom, then I'll go ahead and get started on that. But I didn't want to get started on that until I had that wire loom, because I'm the type of person, I'll forget that I needed something and I'll just go ahead and wire it up, and then I'll be pissed off because I'll have to tear it all apart and put the loom on and then wire it again. So this is where we are so far on the Farmall Cub. This is a 1964 square front. It is not a demo. Dad was hoping that we would find white paint on it, but we did not. So there's what that looks like. Now we're going to come over here and show you what the hood, the grill, still looks like. And I know that the lighting isn't real good back here, but wow, what a difference. I have quite a bit of body work to do. Got some dents, some rust, some tears, and the gentleman that had this, or somebody that had it before us, they were nice enough to cut in a real nice access panel, put a real nice catch device, as well as a hinge. So that is going to be one of my daunting tasks. I'm going to remove the hinge, remove the latch, and I'm not sure if there's anybody out there that's into body work. Do I back this with a piece of sheet steel to weld through to the sheet steel, or what's the best way to do that? I believe these holes are going to stay in, because those are the holes that you use to oil the, and I don't want to say it wrong, generator. So that's one thing I have to work on yet. This front right here is pretty rough. It looks like it got bent down at one time, and somebody took a pair of channel locks, turn it this way, and just kind of bent that up with channel locks. And this side here is kind of caved in here. On top of that, there are some extra holes that are there with the lights, and some reinforcement brackets because of the holes being so big. So I'm going to try to repair all those. as well as weld that hatch up and get that all straightened out. So this is an update on the Farmall Cub. Everything's kind of spewed around my garage here. Everything's out of order. I guess instead of Redneck Manufacturing, we should name this the Out of Order Garage. But we sure do get some work done in here, and I sure do like when Pop-Up Gringo's down. He is back home. Hopefully he won't be home for a whole week, and then he'll be back down. He lives about 3.5 hours from here, and we sure enjoy working on this when he's down. It's not quite the same when he's not around. So Farmall Cub, one of the things that we want to do, we're going to get a new plate, because I've seen on the internet, instead of using degreaser, go to the dollar store, pick up a can of oven cleaner. Well, we did that, and the oven cleaner cleans off more than just grease. It cleaned off all of the black ink on the VIN plate. So that's one of the things that we're going to order, is a new VIN plate. The other thing are the decals, complete decal set. There's going to be a decal that goes on here for the oil. There's going to be a decal that goes around this other side on the air cleaner. It's going to go on here. It says something about the air cleaner, when to change that. Another decal goes down here. It says drain with an arrow. Another decal goes on the fender there. It says patent pending. I believe it's going to go right in this area here. Another decal for the PTO goes here. And there's going to be one that goes on the gas tank, which will be right in this area here. That dashboard will come up, and the gas tank and the hood will mount here, and there's a decal that goes on there. Those are the only decals that I'm aware of. If anybody knows of any additional decals, man, I sure would like to hear from you. One of the other things that we had ordered are the corks to go in these holes. That's how they came from the factory, on the landing pads, as well as, I believe, down here on the bull gears. They had, instead of having bolts in there, they had corks. Me and Dad were trying to figure out if those corks stay natural or if we should paint them red. And I think we came up with the conclusion that the corks were probably put in there to keep the paint out of the threads. So therefore, they were probably painted red. So we're making good progress. I think we've been on it now for about 2 months. We tore it completely down, except for we did not break the transmission from the engine, but we did take that front bolster off, and we painted all that up. And I think the reason I wanted to get that off there was just so I could get down inside there. And don't know if this shows it or not, but you can't really paint down in that little crack. So we took that front bolster off and gave her a good paint job. Took the front axle off the bolster, took the radiator off the bolster. So we had her tore down pretty good. Had the intake manifold off of her, the air cleaner off of her, the generator, the coil, the distributor cap. We had the steering rod out of it, which is now back in. And let me tell you something, when you tape this steering wheel off, wow, what a devious task. And we did a pretty good job, but let me see if I can get a close-up. Oh, that was the red light reflecting off of it, but yeah, you can see kind of missed a little bit there. That's just the red light reflecting. But how hard is it to tape something up? Boy, I tried my hardest, and no matter what you do, it still shows through. So I guess I'm done boring you guys for this video. I'm going to show you the Presidente of Redneck Manufacturing at this time. Can't call him Fleabag anymore, because we went out and bought him one of those collars. It's supposed to be good for 8 months. I put it on him. 2 days later, he stopped scratching. So I think it's Siesta or Seresto collar. And if you guys have a dog and you have a flea issue, by God, I'm giving them a shout out because it definitely worked. He couldn't walk without scratching himself until we put that collar on him. So let's see if we can get him to do a trick here. Come here, bud. Come on. Sit. Sit. And of course, when they're dead, the only way you can revive them is you got to give them CPR. Once the CPR is complete, then they're good to go. See that? So CPR gets them going. You guys see this? He's good. Real happy with the way the wheels turned out. I don't know if you can see that, but it is a nice shiny silver. And go around here one time real close. I know I'm probably jerky and going too fast, but she's looking real good. Real happy with her. My fenders turned out really good. I painted them once. I don't know if I said this in the one video, but I did. I painted them once and I wasn't happy with them, so I sandblasted them completely again and did them again. So we got them fairly straight and looks good. My floor pans, I could have done a little better on those. I didn't want to really get into details, but then we got a toolbox that goes on top of that, so that'll hide some of that as well. Just need to get short bolts. It's hard to find short bolts. Not done with the wiring. Like I say, I'm waiting on my wire loom. Got it off of eBay. eBay is an incredible place. So, hey guys, thanks again for watching my videos. We do some crazy stuff here, Redneck Manufacturing, from rebuilding Bobcats to redoing old tractors to making big wheel, I don't know what you'd call it, redneck segways. We've made long bicycles, call it the cargo bike, and we just do all kinds of stupid stuff.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.